Hello my friends and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Sometimes the mass media comes with certain articles that you can't make it up. They're so fake and so obvious that I don't know, you have to be have a lower IQ, much lower than 86, which is my border of, it's not mine actually, it's a scientific one. Below 86 you just look into it. And these guys are really pushing the envelope right here. They come with certain things that you're like, what? Did you really say that? Yes, they said that. So in this case is European Union, Brussels, with all its weasels, all the bankers, all the institutions, and Hungary. Hungary is a country, I think, like I don't think it's bigger than Michigan. I think it's more than Michigan, which is not a big country, with no more than or around 10 million people, like Michigan, 11 or something, or 9, something like that. So just think about it. And they say here that European Union is the victim, and and Hungary is the aggressor. So the way these guys portray this article is like the European Union decides to stand up to the bully aggressor Orban. What does Orban have? 10 million people and a small country landlocked with no resources? What are you talking about? Yeah, but we're supposed to believe that, and yeah, finally the little victim European Union will fight back. This article comes from Time, and from the 26th of September 2022. This is the title. The EU is finally standing up to Viktor Orban. Can you believe this? Can you believe this? I can, but it's just funny because you don't see this every day. In any proportion that you want to use, any measure, Hungary cannot be the aggressor and the other one will be like, oh, don't hit me, ow, it hurts. Can't be something like this. But this is what they want us to believe. Unbelievable. All right, let's see what aggression Hungary started again. For more than a decade, it's been a long time, Hungary's Prime Minister Viktor Orban has been locked in battle with the European Union over the democratic rules that Brussels expects EU member states to uphold. The Brussels, who's Brussels? Formed of what? Nations. And they expect you to follow whose rules? Why? We have our culture, we have our traditions. What are you talking about? Let's move on. His commitment to illiberal Christian democracy has long since become a flashpoint. An EU report released earlier this month accuses Orban of transforming Hungary into an quote-unquote electoral autocracy, in which the Prime Minister has made deliberate and systematic efforts to undermine EU values. What are the EU values? The EU values are the values of all the nations in the European Union or on the European continent put together, and they are added. Diversity is our strength. Okay? So, no. There are some people in Brussels, we can find the names or not, they come and say this is a new value. Who determines that? You're going to impose that value that is, let's say, in I don't know, a new value somewhere on the Hungarian people. You let them choose. Not choose. You can have it all. Let's say the Hungarians are eating pork, but the Italians are not eating pork. Let's put it this way. Okay? You're not going to make it the value of Europe is eating pork. Therefore, we're going to ban eating, not eating pork, whatever for, I'm got confused here. Eating pork is the value. So, or no, not eating pork. So not eating pork is the value. Who eats pork? It's we're not going to give you money. You have to change your culture based on us, because otherwise we're not going to give you European funds. Really? That's exactly how it works. And instead of saying no, some eat pork, some don't eat pork. That's a value. Eating pork, not eating pork. Is it bad? No. Why is it better? Some people eat pork. Let them choose. Right? Freedom. So anyway, and the values. The values. Orban, a talented populist. So he's just a wizard, you know. He's just like Hitler, kind of, you know. He just had a charisma. He just fooled people so good that all the people were mesmerized by Hitler. That's all Hitler had, and being evil. So evil put in the work with charm. That was Hitler. Now Orban, he's just a talented populist who has built his public popularity by picking fights with bureaucrats. That's how he built his popularity. And the stupid Ukrainians, the stupid Hungarians did not catch that. Don't you insult the Hungarian people? Voting 4 times? Really? How is that? You can fool people sometimes, but you can't fool people all the time, right? Some people sometime instead of all the people all the time. So he's fooling so far all the people all the time or something, or most people all the time. All right, Mr. Lincoln. So he insists that he is merely defending Hungarian traditional values. That's what he is. But he stands accused in the report of attacks on press freedom, the independence of judges and courts, academic freedom, minority rights. What kind of minority? I would like to know. The ones with blue eyes or the ones with blonde hair? And the rights of asylum seekers. They have the right to do that. And it's not asylum seeker, that's people who want to come into their country as refugees, which you're not refugee. Refugees will be only the countries that you have border with. If you come from a country 2 borders from you, that's not a refugee anymore. My boy, look at the... Not you. Sorry. I'm arguing not with you, but with these wizards right here. I'm going to straighten them up. Note, none of this is new, but the report dropped at a highly charged moment. On September 15, the European Parliament voted by an overwhelming majority, it was not overwhelming, but nevertheless, to approve that report. There were about 115 that did not, and about 200 and something that did. So it was about two thirds. 2/3 they said yes, 1/3 said no, and it's majority. And they say here when it's 53% in American elections, it's a landslide. Okay, thank you very much. And when Putin has 93% approval rating, that's a majority, not an overwhelming. And then you have the weasel, what's his name, Trudeau in Canada, saying about a fringe minority with unacceptable views. Communist. Yeah, that's another. How many? Did you count them? Did you count it? Did you see what happened in Ottawa and what happened? Now that's democracy right there. Canada. Oh, Canada. All right, so for years the EU has had few good options to force Orban and his Fidesz party to respect the rules, because so many of its potential punishment measures against offending member state governments, blah, blah, blah. The problem is there were the Visegrad states, the 4, Poland, Hungary, Czech Republic, Slovakia, that opposed the Western countries in many of their values. Now it seems like Hungary and Poland are still fighting, but Poland is under the United States' boot anyway. That's a different story. So they're talking about money. That's what they do. So they will just tell, adding to the pressure of Hungary's economy, fears raised by EU actions have weighed heavily on the forint. Hungary's currency is down 16% after the EUR over the past against the euro over the past 12 months, and 37% against the US dollars. Hungary's current account deficit more than doubled from July to August of this year. Yeah, they're going to destroy it economically, and they think that people will rise up and we're going to overthrow him and hang him like they did with Gaddafi. Yeah, basically. Orban is holding a weak hand. His government is already contending with high prices, wobbly currency, and energy crisis. Headline inflation rose to 16.6% in August, its highest point in 24 years. Prices for staple food like milk, bread, and poultry have surged between 40% and 65% over the past year. How do you think is here? But they don't say that. They say just the index, you know, is 10%, 9%, the consumers index. Yeah. But if you go and do the same thing, you measure what they measured here, like weasels in Hungary. Here, I can tell you when Trump got out of the office, right? When he got out of the office, a gallon of milk was at Kroger's, just so you know, it was 78 cents. 78. Right now it's $3.50 or something like that. So 3.5. So get from let's say $1 to 3.5. How much is that? In what? In 2 years? And these guys, oh my God, it's in 1 year 40%. Come over here and see it. Gas just jumped again, the gas. So yeah, they try to withhold money. That's how they want to do it. By money, destroy their economy, and they're going to rise up. Like Putin wants to do with the Germans with the electricity and all that. But not Putin, because it's these guys who place sanctions on themselves. It's going to be cold, energy bills up. They will subsidize them with money from international banking for a while, and then in March they have to pay, and everything is going to jump with inflation, paying the interest of the loans they got from the bankers to pay for the cap that the German population will not pay now, are going to pay later. The population now, their children and grandchildren, and they say, well, the government helped us again. No, they got you in deep shit, and they pretend they're the good guys. No, they're not the good guys. They implemented that, got the price higher, go and get the money from the bankers. The bankers are profiteering, the politicians are staying in power, and you and your children will pay more. Pay for the loan that fixed instead of paying $3,000 per month, you're going to pay $1,000 per month now. And the $2,000 will pay the government from the bankers. Who do you think is going to pay those $2,000 in time? You, with interest. So yeah, let's try to destroy, what's his name? Putin, I was about to say. Putin who? Orban and his country. And they, you see, they're the victims. They got fed up with this guy. It's just that they are just, okay, Orban, really. And he got elected 4 times. 4 times in a row. So those Hungarians must be stupid or something, right? According to this guy, that's the conclusion. Or he's just a talented populist. Really, that goes as far. It seems like it went for the past, I don't know, 12, 13 years, whatever, how long this guy's been in power. I'm talking about Orban, elected 4 times. It's kind of like, you know, too long. Impose the European values. What about Hungarian values? Are they not Europeans? No? No, I guess not. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Great, Maloney won, so they're gonna... We're like brothers. Stand strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.